Last week in Cheongsong, Kevin Lindlau made the first ever final for an American climber in a World Cup lead competition. We're going to take a look at that competition and analyse his finals route. Here we go. Start of the route, what was going through your mind?
Oh, just kind of looking at these first holds, they're all pretty close. They all look pretty positive, so you could kind of try to move quickly through them. Leading up to, I think the hold after this one, went up to it and was a little cautious. These cheese ones, they're just kind of a round pocket. It's a little offset, so making sure getting the feet in the right position, just trying to keep a good steady pace going through the base of the route, working up to the roof.
And then you're using A speed tools. How do those differ from the other tools? What do you like about those?
So I like the angle. I used to climb on Nomix. These are very similar geometry-wise with Krokanogi picks on them, so it was an easy switch, and it gives you a little bit more reach. So it was an easy transition this year, switching to those tools. The benefit is they're a little bit more aggressive, so some of those undercling holds on like intellects and really technical holds, they tend to grip into a little better. So yeah, it's been really nice. It helps my technical climbing quite a bit. A little bit lighter, so super long routes, it's helpful.
And so now you've moved past that first clip, you're off top rope as it were, and you're moving towards the second. What's going through your mind now as you swing across into that first ice barrel?
Kind of just looking ahead on the route and trying to see what's coming up before me. Here I got a little crossed up. I think looking at it in isolation, I was thinking I might be able to stem my feet and kind of keep them on the wall, but
yeah.
Previous years of angst only bumped the side and had my climb stop, so I was like, maybe I should figure forward. And looking back at it now, I think after watching some other climbers, it might have been a time saver there.
Yeah. So, there we go. That was first place at that time in the new Icebox feature. First place climber for every competition as it goes through the final sits in that box until they're kicked out. So, at this point, as we move higher up on the route, when do you start to feel tired? You know, where does the training come in that regard?
It was kind of nice. I spent a couple weeks in Korea prior training. My endurance felt really good. I think trying to get the experience on knowing when to move a little bit quicker and be more confident on some of these holds. So you can kind of see right here, I had some issues. I got a little nervous, was struggling to clip that one, lost some key time there. But yeah, it wasn't really until I was trying to get in the ice barrels that I started to kind of feel a little fatigue and slow down. Once I got tired, got a little crossed up with my climbing.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see like in a minute here on the route, but up through this point was feeling pretty good and just trying to keep that constant pace and a constant breathing has seemed to help me keep on moving through.
So you just matched there in that high grip, kind of in the backhand position. One thing that I'm always impressed with, and you know, as I learned more about dry tooling and ice climbing throughout the years, was route reading, and specifically even just the position on the tool and how you read that for the moves as they come. Maybe you can talk us through that process as we go through this sequence, so how you read that. So you're in the high grip with the left hand.
Yeah, so in here, it's usually easier in your high grip to make some of these bigger reaches and moves, especially for the move that's coming up here. It's going into a Stein pull, and the best way to go on that is in a reverse grip, so your index finger is on the bottom of the tool as opposed to your pinky finger. It's a little bit more strenuous, but reading it can actually make the move easier this way, going reverse grip, because now you're actually in a position where you can reach behind you a little bit easier. If you were flipped around on the tool, the reach becomes much more difficult. You're reaching across your body. So trying to look in on the route, which way the holds are facing, which way you need to orientate your body so the reaches are smaller, just making those reaches easier for you and saving energy.
Did you read the route with anyone, or did you read it solo?
I did it solo, just kind of trying to figure out my own beta, so I didn't get in my head. However, on this part here, wasn't expecting it. The holes were perfectly, or the perfect height on the ice. My hand was getting pinched between the ice barrel and the tool, so I ended up spending a lot of time here trying to figure out if I could swing up, that's why I'm trying to move the barrel, or if I could reach higher on my tool.
Yeah.
So kind of wasted a lot of time here. That was a little inconvenient.
You weren't the only climber to get stuck on this barrel. A lot of guys got stuck here, or rather, I would say about half the guys got sucked into that barrel and spent time there. The guys in the top 3, top 4 moved off that really quickly. And actually what they didn't do was they didn't use the right hand in that upper grip. They just went straight off that and up to the next volume.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it was definitely a much more efficient way of moving through this because it's definitely very taxing. Sat here now, 15, 20 seconds, burning a lot of strength. So.
Yeah. This is your first finals. You've been competing for how many years now?
It's third solid year competing now for the World Cup.
It must feel like you're gaining experience all the time, learning all the time from these, World Cups. What kind of facilities do you have back home in the US? You said you were out here to train in South Korea.
Yeah, so back home, I recently moved to Bozeman, Montana, and we're just starting to get some training facilities up, but as of now, I just have a wall in my backyard that I'm training on and trying to set competition moves on. So it's a lot of climbing up and then down climbing, which kind of kills your pace.
Mm-hmm.
So I came to South Korea a little bit early so I could kind of work on that upward pacing. It's much different. The down climbing really kills that tempo.
Mm-hmm.
And just coming here and training on real structure was so helpful, getting that experience on learning to move consistently up the wall and flow through it.
Yeah, it showed. Yeah, really nice. So then you were coming around the front of that barrel and kind of approaching the head wall.
Yeah, started to feel better here. The last barrel I got a little crossed up on as well. I think got my head a little bit. A little nervous with, like you said, the first final, but here things started to go a little bit smoother again and started to get back in a rhythm of things and control the breathing, and definitely helped, I think.
You had a total of 8 minutes 30 to climb this route, which is a long time to be on tools. Obviously not everybody used that full time, but is that something you train for, long periods of time, or is this longer than you would normally expect?
Yeah, so getting to this point in the season, I'm trying to train a little bit more specific to how the competitions will be run.
Mm-hmm.
So just more time on the wall, trying to do these power moves over and over again. So doing power endurance right before the season starts. And kind of trying to peak before the competition was helpful. Earlier in the year was just doing a lot of outdoor climbing, trying to build a general base so I wouldn't get injured training. But yeah, especially this close to the year, really trying to get 8-9 minutes on the wall and be very similar to what a competition route will be.
So talk us through this next sequence.
Yeah, so this was a really cool series of moves, the Korean holds on these little crimps. You have to be very gentle. See how I'm in second position there, which drops the pick angle, allowing you to be a little bit more steady on these holds. And I actually hit that just slightly off. I was a little worried I might instantly slide or pop off of it, especially for this move. This hold here is a stone hold that can oftentimes be very skatey, and just the smallest movement can pop you off. But it was a cool hook. You get a great rest on the ice barrel, so that was a nice spot. Probably should have shaken out a little bit more. I still had the time, but thought I was running out. So
yeah. So just before you move out there, are you looking for the clock? What indication do you have on the time?
Just trying to listen. I thought I heard someone say 1 minute left, so I was like, oh, okay, I need to keep the pace. So I tried to leave the ice barrel fairly quickly and get a good shake.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this ice barrel was coming up. I knew hanging in figure 4 requires the extra grip, and I was this point starting to feel pretty fatigued in the forearms. Wasted a little too much time lower on, so just trying to get that rest before getting on here. And after watching some of the other competitors do this move, it seems like it would have been smart, keep the feet on,
Mm-hmm.
get a little bit better rest, because the feet take some of that weight off your grip.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely were moving really well despite not using the feet on the wall. You were moving confidently. I remember that. I remember thinking, for someone that's in the first final, you were moving really boldly and really confidently.
Yeah, it felt really nice. So I think having semifinals and everyone out there cheering and stuff, in a couple years now of doing it, it felt a little bit more natural. Oh,
so let's talk about the fall.
Yeah, so I think with that feet on the wall thing, you see there I instantly went up in a figure 9.
Mm-hmm.
So that required me to try to get my leg out, and I thought popping my hand off that tool would allow me to drop the leg really quickly. However, I was so pumped when I dropped that, I went to a one-handed hang on the other tool. It just grip opened and slide right off the hold. That was it. I tried to reach back quick and grab the other tool, and
didn't happen.
It wasn't there. Yeah.
So let's see that again. So up with the right hand, you can see the fig
Kick
9.
The leg and I dropped the hand. And that's it. Went for the double hand grab of the other tool, the Hail Mary, but not quite there.
And when you fell and when you hit the floor, what was going through your head then when you were back on the ground?
It was just so exciting. It was such a good experience and so cool. And the first final, I get so high up on the wall. I was hoping to get somewhere in the roof and surpass that. It was really a good feeling, and having everyone, all the friends and competitors cheering and waving after the comp, it was just a really surreal feeling. So
well, hopefully it's the first of many finals this season and for many years to come.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope so.